Hey, what's up guys? Ciel, welcome back to Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. Last time we finally finished off Arkwid's route, and now we are on to Ciel's route, which should be vastly different than it was. So I am going to go ahead and start from new game. Because reasons. Also, I am going to skip through I'm gonna skip through the stuff I've seen. Well, I'm only gonna skip the prologue, that is, I should say. Just because it's the same, you know. She's like, oh, you know, shouldn't use your eyes to, and yeah, but what we can do. Oh, I didn't mean to skip. I meant to only skip to the prologue. I didn't mean to skip any of that. Basically, it was him reflecting on leaving the Arima house. That's pretty much right. Something like that. It's early, 6:33 a.m. 30 minutes have come and gone since I got on this train. That's how long it's been since I said goodbye to the people who took care of me all this time. How I react to this probably says a lot about me as a person. I'm sure some people might feel sad and wish they could have stayed longer. Others would accept it without a second thought. I wonder which side I fall on. I realized after a moment that I don't really feel either. I'm the only one sitting on the 8-seater bench. The seats in front of me are empty. There are only a couple of other people on the train, including a sleeping man in a suit on the bench next to mine and a woman standing in front of the door. It may be early, but it feels particularly empty today. The noise from outside is strangely muted, but maybe I'm just lost in thought. The train vaguely reminds me of a spaceship traveling through the darkness of outer space. I can see it. No sound can reach it out here. The only things here are my stupid daydreams, the sound of my heart beating, and my memories from an hour ago. It came like a bolt from the blue. Tonomaki Hisa has died. Tono Shiki is to return to the Tono household immediately. The first contact I'd had from my family in 7 years, and that's how it goes. The Tono family's word is final. I'm still a student, and they pay for all my expenses. But choosing to return to the mansion today instead of yesterday was my one act of defiance. I just wanted to stay a little longer at the home where I'd spent so much of my life. It was all I could do for the family that took me in and treated me like their own. Thank you for breakfast. It was delicious. I finish my meal and leave the table before the sun even rises. After taking one final glance at my room, I clap my hands together in thanks. It's not much for all the time I've stayed here, but I don't want to leave anything unsaid. I led a happy life here. That's what I want to carry away with me. Keiko saw me off alone as I left the Arima household. I asked to leave quietly, without waking the others. Thank you for everything. Give my regards to Dad and Miyako for me. 7 years. The woman who had acted as my mother in that time looked terribly sad. I never once thought I'd see her like this. Life may be hard at the Tono Mansion, but you'll be okay, understand? Don't overdo it. Make sure to look after your health first and foremost. Man, I'm still upset we never got more. Like, we got to see, you know, Miyako a bit in, like, Melty Blood. But that's really it. We don't get... Man. I do hope... No, if Tsukihime 2 happens, it probably won't have any of them. Man. I don't know. I wish there was more of them, you know? I take her words of encouragement to heart. My time spent with them was peaceful. I just hope I didn't cause the Arimas too much trouble during my time with them. If she's this sad about you leaving, I doubt it. I doubt you caused much trouble. It's been 7 years. I've had plenty of time to recover. I'm a lot sturdier than I look, you know. Yes, you're right. The Tonos are quite the unusual family. But you're not one to let that bother you. You've always been a strong boy. She smiles through her sadness, and I smile back. I'm happy that she still considers me to be her child. I think you're giving me a little too much credit. Well, I should get going. Take care, Mom. Goodbye, Shiki. Take care. Keiko knows that I won't be coming back. Well, hey, according to Melty Blood's stories, you do come back to visit. At least in Actress Again, anyway. In the first, well, there's a whole storyline in the first one about how you hadn't went back and visited, so Miyako came to get you, and then, yeah. But in AA, it's, yeah. She sends me off with tears in the corners of her eyes. That was just 40 minutes ago. That moment marked the end of my previous life, and the start to my new one. The view outside shifts slowly. We must have crossed the river that separates the suburban Yashirogi and arrived in the city of Soya. The train begins its return climb to the surface. I can feel the gentle incline. Bright light shines through, piercing my eyes, which had grown accustomed to the artificial dimness of the subway. Of course, that said, with the Multi-Blood stuff, I think Multi-Blood's only canon to Good End, Arcwood route, and maybe like Ciel route of the original. Not even so, you know, that should say it's hard to say. It's hard to say the validity of that timeline. The train sweeps toward the city. The majority of its inhabitants are still asleep. Outside, the air is chilly. A fall morning in the month of October. The heat of summer is little more than a faint memory now. I've watched this same view nearly every day for a year and a half now. This is the last time I'll be taking this train to school. Memories of the past 7 years rush by like the scenery outside the window. I survived a terrible injury that would have killed most 10-year-olds. I met the woman that would become my master, my mentor in life. I went to live with the Arima family. And now I'm halfway through my 2nd year. The thing Master feared might happen when we parted never came to pass. And as long as I have these glasses on, I don't have to worry about seeing those lines again. And so Tonoshiki has led an ordinary, though at times difficult life. That all changes today. There's nothing major like feeling I don't belong or anything like that. I just don't feel right going back to the way things were before. Having lived a normal life these past few years, the Tono family's way of doing things just seems like a pain. Or at least more trouble than it's worth. Which is still insane for me to think about. Like, is it really that big? Like, proportional, sure, but like straight up bigger? I don't know. That seems insane. I'm surprised I was able to handle it when I was a child. The thought of going back to that old-fashioned way of life is daunting, to say the least. Yeah. Oh, and here she comes. The train stops at a large station for a few minutes. The local line I'm taking has to wait for the express to pass. The platform is empty. Usually I would expect to see morning commuters in suits on their way to work, but it's particularly quiet today. The express passes by on the neighboring rails. Thank you for your patience. The next stop is... An announcement I've heard hundreds of times plays. The door closes with a hiss of air. I see that there are 4 stations left to Soya Station, the station where my school. And here's the girl. Yeah, another 2 seconds, you would have bit the dust, or the train door, that is. Not necessarily dust. Oh no! I accidentally. That was close to one I could have lost in my head if I wasn't careful. Wearing a school's uniform slips through the automatic doors as they close. Must be 3rd year, scene number 4. Must contain things for club activities. Our eyes met for a moment. The girl continues to stare at me. Just when I noticed that, she's walked closer. Good morning, sorry about all that. Oh no, if anything, I'm sorry for staring. The way she smiles has me apologizing almost by reflex. Alright, and now we're here. My fault. Hello? Why is it autoplaying? I don't have... Why is it autoplaying? Controls. Okay, there we go. It was on auto mode. I had to check what button it was. Alright, and she said something about setting a better example, not being... yeah, whatever. Something like that. My fault for causing such a big scene in the first place. As a 3rd year, I should be setting a better example. I guess you weren't lying when you said you weren't a morning person. I'm distracted by her laughter, and it's me. We met last week. Don't you remember? Okay. In an instant, my memory is jolted awake. Right, yeah, memory, I knew she felt familiar. Sorry, my throat was scratchy for a second. I've crossed paths with her a number of times. And now that I think about it, there's probably not a person in the whole school who doesn't know Ciel. Soya High's most revered 3rd year. Happy to offer advice to any distraught 1st year. Eager to solve the woes of any troubled 2nd year. So she's the model student, huh? The model senpai? And quick to save underclassmen from the ire of the 3rd years. Some students call her the true student council president, considering most people rely on her over the teachers or our actual student council. She even helped me with something just last week. Right, sure she did. Man, how out of it am I? Ciel's right about how I hate mornings, but thinking about returning home for the first time in 7 years must be killing my brain cells. Okay, now I think someone said if I chose number 1, it would actually lock me out of Ciel's route. So I have to do 2 or 3. Now, I did 3 in Arquid's route, which is where we start looking at her legs. So I will go with number 2, think of something to ask. A question pops into my mind. Why is she on the train so early?
でもどうしたんですか? 先輩、部活やってませんよね。
いいえ、何を隠そうボランティア活動の帰りなんです。ほら、生徒会公募で公園のゴミ拾いがあったでしょ。あれをちゃちゃっと先ほどまで。
Does she give this explanation anyway, even if you choose 3? Because I swear she told me this in the first one, in Arkwood's route. Okay. Now it all makes sense. Ciel is always running around helping out somebody or another.
早朝から30分だけの奉仕活動だったんですけどね。
Yeah, I swear I've heard this before. Did I... Maybe I went... used the flowchart to go back or something? Or... Because I know I saw the admire what's in front of me one. But I've also seen this explanation before. Maybe she tells it to you in the 3rd one anyway. It's just you get the funny scene before that. That's probably what it is.
他の皆さんは一旦帰宅したんですが、私は面倒なので、このまま投稿してしまおうかと。
Yeah, it makes sense. Her bag clatters. I had assumed it was full of equipment, but it must be cleaning stuff.
おや、中身見たいんですか？先輩の持ち物をチェックするなんて、おとなしそうに見えて大胆ですね。
We were just pondering. We didn't necessarily want to see inside. She draws closer and looks into my eyes. Her face is so close to mine that I can smell her. Flustered, I can't figure out where to look.
いえ、そういうわけじゃなくてですね。もし折りたたみ式のほうきとか熊手とかなら珍しいなと。
In all likelihood, it's actually a weapon, but sure.
ほうほう。私の万能高枝切りばさみも見たいと。
You know what? Sure. Show him to me.
よろしい。それでしたら放課後、いつもの茶道部に来てください。あなたなら大歓迎です。
Uh-huh. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Well, I mean, we definitely will, actually. I don't know why I said maybe. We definitely will be. Faced with such a heartfelt smile, I end up blushing. Oh, okay, buddy. I'd like to say something clever or witty, but all I can manage is a simple yes.
約束ですよ。ここだけの話、部費で購入したお茶受けが余ってしまいまして、日持ちするものではないので、元気な男の子の協力が不可欠なんです。
Tisk, tisk, Ciel. How dare you spend the funds
そうですか。
on
じゃあ
snacks
予
of
定
all
が合えばぜ
things?
ひ。
Uh-huh.
食べ物に釣られていくとか猫かって話ですけど。
Maybe a little bit. Little bit. Ciel's warm smile makes me feel comfortable enough to crack a joke. She adjusts the green ribbon around her neck.
どちらかというと、ワンちゃんではないでしょうか。
Is that an insult or?
というか、猫科はよくありません。最後まで頼りになるのは、律儀で頭のいい犬科です。
Okay, sure. I mean, okay. For reasons I don't quite understand, she seems to feel strongly about this. I feel like I asked this exact same thing back in part 2 of Arkwood's route when we were doing this, but is this supposed to be like cracking fun at the whole Neko arc thing? Like a subtle wink wink nudge nudge, or was it something else? Like she just actually dislikes cats? I don't remember. I feel like I asked that same thing and someone gave me an answer. You know what? I'll don't bother answering me this time. I'll go back and check part 2 because I feel like someone did answer me on that back then. And if I'm wrong and nobody did give me a, or if I didn't even ask, then I guess feel free to tell me. But I don't know. Also, I have to pee, so I'm gonna pause really quick and I'll be right back. Alright. She seems to feel strongly about. Oh yeah, the not liking. Yeah. As we're both heading to the same place, we continue to chat. We talk about last week's midterms. We wonder why the sports festival has been reduced to a one-day event. We complain about the cafeteria always serving the same things. Yeah. After getting into a heated discussion about the plan to restrict phones at school, we tire each other out, sigh in unison, and change the subject. We laugh as we trade opinions on the movies we've seen recently. So, normal high schooler stuff. Got it. Essentially. 15 minutes go by in a flash. It's easy talking with her. She is, after all, incredibly popular among everyone. I don't want this to end, but we only have a few minutes left before we get to Soya Station. I try to bring up something else to talk about. But... damn. I'm still wondering if she's with the church or what's up. Cause we don't see her... Like after... When's the last time we see her in Arkwood's route? I think it's right before we murder Arkwood? I think? Something like that? So I don't know if she's with the church or not. Cause she didn't appear alongside the church members. Like in the later parts, so I don't know. We've forgotten where we are. Ciel and I bow our heads in apology. Yeah. No, Shiki takes some of the blame. Don't take it all on yourself. With that, our conversation comes to a halt. The friendly cheer that filled the air just moments ago has vanished. It's quickly replaced by that familiar city silence, that cold space in which everyone is a stranger. The train pulls into Soya Station. It's just before 7 a.m. I left for school a bit early today, so the town hasn't quite woken up yet. It's quiet right now, but in about an hour it'll be bustling with traffic and commuters. I doubt that, seeing as how there's a murderer going around, but you know. As Ciel shares this odd observation, I notice how heavy her bad bag looks. Alright, Shiki being smooth, being slick. Yeah. Yeah, she can probably bench press like 3 of you. It might take a little bit of magical enhancement, but she probably could. Shiki's probably what, like 125 pounds? Something like that. Her lithe legs carry her so swiftly, I almost expect a comical whoosh. Not to be outdone, I feel an urge to start running too. But there's really no reason for me to hurry. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be running anyway, considering my condition. I start walking towards school at my usual pace. But just as I set off... Hi. The girl from before emerges from the ticket gates. She passes by briskly, slowing only to share a few choice words. Rude? And with that, she stalks away. Damn, what'd I do? I'm struck dumb by the rudeness. It seems I've made an enemy from being slightly too loud on a train. That's like I know Japan is kind of strict with that, like, you know, the courtesy or the kind of social etiquette is to be pretty much silent. Like, if you're gonna talk, like, whisper in each other's ears, like that kind of silent. But it was only them two and like her on the train. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just the moral of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not moral. What's the saying? I can't remember that saying. The principle of it all, I guess. There we go. The principle. I should be careful the next time I have a conversation on a train. I guess I said something that upset her. Apparently. Even so. That's a bit of an assumption to assume she's in middle school. It was a regular hit and run scolding. Like, she wasn't even wearing a uniform. Like, I imagine she's meant to be, like, shorter than him and Ciel, I'm guessing. And that's what he's basing it on. But, like, there are very small women out there. Like, I literally went, speaking of middle school, I literally went to middle school with a girl who was, like, see, I think at the time I was like 5'5", and she was like 4'11". She's probably like 5'1" at most now, but like, which is still pretty small. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird to assume she's a middle schooler based off of her height. Again, I at least, at the very least, I didn't see a uniform. She was wearing a regular, like, puffy jacket to me, but I don't know. I make my way to school. My steps heavier than usual. It's just about 7 when the main entrance to the school comes into view. Students hurry through the gate to go to their club activities. They must be trying to make the most of their time before homeroom starts at 8. Yeah. Soya Municipal High School. An old school celebrating 40 years since its founding. Our college admission rate isn't bad, our clubs do fine, and the rules aren't particularly strict. It's as normal a school as you can find. The only complaint male students have is that their uniforms are too old-fashioned, but the school doesn't pay much attention to it. As for the girls, their uniforms were changed 3 years ago. Apparently the school was worried that keeping the older sailor uniforms would lead to a drop in enrollment. Really? What's up? Something feels out of place on my usual walk to school. Things feel busier than usual. Pale-faced teachers rush to the faculty room. Oh, right, yeah, right. A black car I've never seen before is parked in the parking lot. There's a chill in the air. Images flash through my mind. A sparsely attended funeral. The cold black of a hearse. I sigh at my own dark thoughts. Trying to shake off the uneasy feeling growing inside me, I head for the classroom. Yeah, not good. There's no one else here yet. I sit in my chair and kill time until homeroom begins. More people begin to fill the room as I get in some studying.
本日の朝練無事終了のお知らせ。
あれ？一番乗りは私らじゃないんだ。今日の早くない？
Yeah, we had some stuff going on. You know how it is.
あれか、ボランティア。でも今日だったっけ？やっば、俺サボったかも。
Ooh, that's awkward. The students of 2C get along well compared to the other classes. We're pretty casual with each other before taking our seats. I catch up with classmates who have just ended their club activities. We go through your typical laundry list of things, from last night's ancient news to stuff that happened just minutes ago at school. We're just talking to pass the time, but this is an important morning ritual of ours. A warm-up exercise to start off the day. We would only tire ourselves out if we tried to have real conversations about everything, especially in this age of information. The mood in the classroom changes suddenly. Lively chatter dies down to a whisper.
なら道塞いでんじゃねえよザコども。朝っぱらから群がりやがって通行の邪魔だろうが。
Are people really that intimidated by him that they start whispering? Crude remarks you wouldn't expect to hear among this otherwise harmonious bunch cut through the tranquility. I don't even need to turn around to know who it is. Only one person could do this to a room.
Cheese! Good morning, メガネ君!
Yeah, good morning.
今朝も新規臭い顔しやがってまったくクソみたいな野郎ですね
Is that how you greet someone? I guess it is in his world. Yup, only him. A delinquent with little respect for the sanctity of our school.
おい、挨拶どうした
Yeah, we know.
人が珍しく朝から来てやってんのにおはようの言葉もなしですかむしろ朝からいてくれてありがとうぐらいの気持ちはないのですか
Why would we be happy about that?
ないよ。朝から濃い顔見てげんなりしてるだけ。そもそもありがとうとかないし、お前のために学校に来てるわけじゃないし。
Damn, that's cold.
何バカ言うなよ俺は東野のために学校に来てるんだぞ
That's not
そんなの不公平じゃんか
That's okay. I'm at a loss for words. Sometimes I wonder why we're even friends. He has a dyed head of orange hair and piercings in his ears. Did I say this last time? His redesigned look reminds me weirdly of like a mixture of Archer Emiya and Shiro. And by that I mean the dark skin and like gray eyes of Emiya. Because they are the same person, right? But with the orange hair, red orange hair of Shiro. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know if that was the intention when they redesigned him, but that's kind of that's the vibe it gives me. Is like younger, tan, pre-whitening of his hair, Shiro/Archer. Sporting a perpetual scowl that's practically begging for a fight. He seems to follow the delinquent dress code to a T. Though his brand of counterculture may be a little out of style, he still looks the part of a good punk. His name? Inui Arahiko.
まあいいか。朝から教室に来るのはいいことだ。
Yeah.
おはよう、アリヒコ。ついに出席日数を気にしだしたね。
I don't think he cares.
いやそこは別に気にしてないまだまだ余裕はありますよ
Right,
今日は
plenty.
家に姉貴がいるんでサボれなくなっただけ、つうか朝まで鉄マンしてたんでいい加減体力の限界だ
そうか、すまない。挨拶をやり直させてくれ。おやすみ、クズヒコ。机に急げ。さっさと寝ろ。
何その冷めた反応
Did you not insult him as soon as you walked through the door? Like, why are you calling him cold?
それが中学からのライバルに対する態度ですかもっとこう熱い対応してくれませんかね
I don't know if Shiki, sorry, Shiro's on the brain. I don't know if Shiki would really deny that.
なんで俺とお前がライバルなんだ。
You would fist fight a bunch? That's really all I
行
got.
きたいんなら街で同行の死を見つけてろよ。あんまり構わないでくれ。
he does still owe me a bunch of money I lent him back in middle school, which makes him more of a moocher than a rival. Yeah, fair enough.
どうしてかな。遠野ってば俺にだけ冷たいよな。
You do tend to start it.
他の奴らには聖人君子みたいなやつなのに不公平じゃね？
なんだ、分かってるじゃないか。世の中、公平なことってあんまりないだろ。
Very true. Very, very true.
そりゃそうだけどよ。やっぱお前、俺には特に冷たくね
Alright, Hiko, let's out an exaggerated sigh. I don't mean to treat him any certain way. Everything just naturally ended up this way after years of, I guess, unfiltered treatment. We may have completely different interests and tastes, but we seem to operate on a similar wavelength.
まあ、家から逃げてきたはいいとして。普段から夜型のお前が朝から出席するなんて、どんな風の気ました？
It's a marvel.
いや、かなり普通じゃないぞ。
まあな、俺だってそう思う。たまたま目が覚めたからって来るもんじゃねえよな、学校ってやつは。ぶっちゃけもう帰りてえ。ああ、やっぱ学生には勉強する意思とか必要なんですかね。
Yeah. He's not wrong, but when he says it like that, it almost sounds like he wants an award just for making the trip to school.
そのあたりの議論は今度、暇な時に鏡に向けてやってくれ。
Yeah,
俺
you
が聞き
need...
たいのは、なんで街に行かないかって。
I don't know what you need.
カラオケでも漫画喫茶でも、時間潰すならそっちのがいいんじゃない？
Well, yeah, but he doesn't want to burn through his, accepted absence wiggle room too quickly, I guess, right?
そりゃあれだよ。最近は何かと物騒だからですよ。
Oh, yeah, and that too.
荒ごとこなすのもただじゃねえし、あっちには体力ある時しか顔出したくねえわけ。
Yeah.
物騒？
Yeah, you know, the people being murdered.
おう、遠野だって知ってんだろ、例のあれ。派手に出回ってる通り魔事件の話だよ。駅前のセンター街、夜になると警官も巡回しているしな。
そっか、そんな話もあったっけ？
Hearing Arihiko talk about it reminds me. The goings-on in Soya hadn't bothered me while I was living several stations away with the Arima family. It was all over the news. And I seem to remember.
なんだっけ？すごく低俗な売り文句だったけど。
The vampire slasher or whatever.
深夜の通り魔事件。
Yeah, Soya slasher.
連続猟奇殺人事件だ。被害者は大抵若い女で2日前に発見された仏さんで8人目。かつ全員の喉元にバツの字の傷跡があるとかないとか。
I'm real tempted just to skip. Weird, my mind can't even picture.
違うよ、乾くん。殺されちゃった人はみんな体内の血液が著しく失われているだよ。
Man, it could be both. Also, hi Satsuki. Hi Sachin. Yumizuka pokes her head out and corrects us, likely drawn by how loud we are.
ああ、そうだったそうだった。現代の吸血鬼かっていう見出しだったもんな、あれ。サンキュー、ユミズカ。おはようさん。
乾くんもおはよう。ついでに言うと外傷には個人差があって、傷が全くない場合と損傷の激しいタイプに分かれてるだったかな。
She doesn't have the same voice actor as she did in Melty Blood, right? It definitely sounds different.
詳しいんだね、弓塚さん。
Yeah, she has a weird thing about it.
そんなことないよ。この街で起きている事件なんだもん。ニュースを見てれば嫌でも覚えちゃうことだと思う。
Yeah, that's fair.
とま、そういうことだよ、遠野。いくら俺でもな、夜中に殺人犯が出歩いているうちは夜遊びなんざしねっての。最近は真面目に家の中で夜更かししてるわけ。
Which is it's a smart move.
なんだ、そんな理由だったのか。まともすぎて逆に意外だ。 殺人犯に怯えて家にこもるなんてお前らしくもない。
I would say it's more than just half decent. I would say it's a very reasonable thing to do, but okay.
らしくないじゃねえよ。普通は殺人犯に怯えるだろう。
Yeah.
こっちはやる気がねえのに、あっちだけやる気満々とか不意打ちにも程がある。絶対にごめんだね。俺はまだ人生棒に振りたくねえ。
ああ、そっか。そうだよな。狙われたらとことんまで付き合うしかないってことだもんな。
And that's probably not something you want.
お前ねえ、そこは逃げるって選択肢はねえの？
Well, he did say cornered, as in like no way out.
なんでとことんまで付き合うんだよ。
だって逃げられないんじゃないのか、そういう場合って。
遠野に振った俺がアホだった。実際の話、俺も殺人犯は気にしてねえ。ああいうのはほら、天才だろ。出会っちまう。
I don't know about that. I don't know if God has anything to do with it.
俺が街に出ないのは本当
But
現実的な理由でさ。最近北口駅前で新手のバカどもが湧いてんだよ。正直顔も見たくねえ。
Understandable. The north exit, located on the opposite side of the station from the business district, is downtown Soya, a bustling hub that never sleeps. Arihiko lives on the north side of the station himself. These fools must be pretty bad if he's going to such lengths to avoid them.
遠野も聞いたことねえか？度胸試しのようなもの。秘密の入り口から地下道に入って奥までつければ大金が手に入るってやつ。
Yeah, but no one's ever made it.
それなら私も聞いたことあるけど、それってただの階段じゃなかった？
ああ、結構昔からある都市伝説だったらしい。それを儲け話っぽく仕立てて利用してるバカどもがいるんだよ。どっから流れてきた新参者か知んねえが、おかげで北口の空気の悪さはシャレにならねえ。ちょっとしたことで殴り合いが始まるからな。俺、基本的に痛いの嫌だし、あんだけ派手にやってればポリも動くだろうし、連中が捕まるまでしばらく自重して家にこもってんのよ。
And once again, you know, a very, very reasonable choice. An urban legend on the north side of the station. I guess I hadn't heard of it since I didn't live nearby. Though I suppose it'll be my problem too, starting today.
なんだよ、反応薄いな。
Nah.
さてはあれか？朝から貧血でぶっ倒れたのか？
Nah, no, not really.
いや、今朝はまだ大丈夫。心配してくれるのはありがたいんだけどね。そう四六時中貧血を起こしてたら体が持たないよ。
Yeah, I mean, probably.
まあ、そりゃもっともだ。遠野が大丈夫だって言うんなら、まあ大丈夫なんだろうよ。
ほら、授業が始まるぞ。早く席に戻って寝ろ。
はいよ。と、そうそう。今日の昼飯な、食堂でするからな。驚きの特別ゲストをお呼びしているので、楽しみにしてやがれ。
I'm looking forward. Arihiko laughs suspiciously as he saunters back to his seat.
それじゃあね、遠野くん。
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
あ、うん。弓塚さんも付き合わせて悪かったね。
She walks back to her desk, her footsteps light as a feather. The teacher next door just tried to tell us that Miss Toyama won't be coming today.
やったー、今日の数学自習じゃん。
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Like won the lottery, is her math teacher, with her absent will have free study instead. Once you finish the worksheet you're given, you're free to spend the rest of the time however you want. Some use the time to study, others just to kill time. I started on my worksheet. I actually have no problem with studying. I quit going to after-school lessons as a child, but that was after I was told getting into a good school would be impossible for someone with my condition. Whether you choose to go to college or straight into the workforce, knowledge is never a bad thing to have. I raise my head after solving a few problems and look over to the students near the hallway. I can only hear bits and pieces of the conversations, sitting as far away from them as I am.
やっぱり信じられない。
それの時先生たちが結相会で職員室に。
Yeah.
まだ噂だから。
でもそんな簡単に。
ひどいよ。なんでそんなことに。
Yeah, she dead. She's dead. Something certainly feels wrong, I think, knitting my eyebrows.
昨日の事件。
校長室に刑事っぽい二人組が。
Yeah. I brace myself for what's coming. And as familiar as I am with this feeling, I find myself not wanting to accept it. I hold my breath in anticipation for the words to come.
だからさ、遠山。昨日死んだらしいよ。
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that actually never. Oh wait, no, she's right. No, they find her body. Right, she's just straight up dead. Right. I was about to say something dumb. I was about to say I'm surprised we never encountered her as like one of the undead or one of the ghouls. But then I was like, wait, no. Right, they wouldn't have found her if she was one of the ghouls. So yeah, I don't know how. Brain fart for a second. I close my eyes, trying to hold back a headache. The morning passes without the rumor about Miss Toyama spreading much further. The classroom is a mess now that it's lunch. Some go to the cafeteria, others to the courtyard, while still others stay in the room and open their lunches at their desks. What should I do for lunch? Ow! Last time, I went straight to the cafeteria, right? I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna jump cut. I'm actually gonna check part 2 or 3, whatever it was, of Arkwood's route and see what I chose last time, because I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, jump cut. Okay, I just checked what I chose in Arkwood's route. I went with number 1 there, and Ciel doesn't show up in the cafeteria in that, so I will just go into the hallway for now and hope this is right. Because Ciel doesn't show up in that one. It's just me and Arhigo. I feel like I vaguely remember from the original Tsukihime that we do run into her if we go in the hall, I think. The hallways are a mess of activity during lunch. Most people are heading to the cafeteria, but some are carrying lunchboxes, likely on their way to a friend's classroom, the courtyard, or the gym. I merge with the crowd, wondering if I should get a proper meal at the cafeteria, or just buy something light at the school store when... Oh, yep, there we go. I was right. I catch a glimpse of Ciel further down the hall. A glimpse. I'm probably imagining it, but it looks like she's heading straight for me.
よかった。探してたんですよ、遠野くん。
Whatever for.
教室にお邪魔する手間が省けちゃいました。
それはどうも。こんにちは、シエル先輩。
This lackluster greeting is all I can muster. For some reason, I suddenly feel very shy.
はい、こんにちはです。
Mm-hmm.
でも私たち、今日はもう会っていますから。
That's
こんにちは
true.
というのは正しくないですね。
That's probably the first true thing you've said to me the entire time we've met you so far.
うん。そういえばそうでした。
I sheepishly avert my gaze. Is there something wrong with me? I've never had a problem talking to Ciel before, but I feel really self-conscious right now. Is it because of what happened this morning? Yeah, maybe.
遠野くんどことなく落ち着きがありませんけど、何か急用でもあるんですか？
You could say it something like
え
that.
え、急ぎの用はないです。
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. There's no way I can tell her the real reason. Because I'm fixated on her every move.
それより先輩、俺を
Right.
探していたって何か用ですか？
はい、朝ちょっとしたご迷惑をかけてしまったでしょ。
Yeah, I vaguely remember something like that.
そのお詫びがしたくてずっと探していたんです。
朝の迷惑って。ああ、
I mean,
電車の話？
getting scolded by one small woman girl. Again, I don't know if she's actually a middle schooler. I didn't see a uniform, but he called her one, so I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't really any trouble.
でもあれは迷惑というより役得というか。
Really? Your pleasure, huh? All right, buddy. I had a lot of fun talking to Ciel. With her to keep me company, the train ride flew by in no time. Hang on, I got a message I have to respond to. Okay, sorry about that. With her to keep me company, the train ride flew
で
by.
もうるさくしすぎて女の子に怒られたじゃないですか。
Yeah, but you can't, you cry over spilt milk, it's done, it's over with, move
そ
on.
のお詫びです。つかぬことをお聞きしますけど、遠野くんはこれからお昼ご飯ですか？
Yeah.
ですよ。食堂に行くか購買で済ませるか迷っていたところです。
よかった。それならご一緒できますね。朝のお詫びにおごっちゃいますから、これから食堂に行きましょう。
Sounds good to me. With a smile, Ciel grabs my arm and whisks me away. It's rare for a third year to be where all the second year rooms are in the first place, so this only sends even more looks our way. Yeah, Ciel, you're gonna get us in trouble with the other boys. I can feel everyone's eyes on us.
ちょっと待ってください。
What's wrong?
朝のあれは俺だって悪いんだから、先輩が謝ることでもありません。むしろ逆です。謝るならこっちです。
Okay, buddy. Yeah. I tear myself away. My face must be beet red. I don't blame you.
おお、それは聞き捨てなりませんね。謝るべきは遠野くんの方だったと。つまり、その罰として遠野くんは私のお願いを一つ聞いてくれるとか、ありなわけですね。
What's the punishment? As I feel Ciel's gaze teasing me, my cheeks burn even hotter.
いや、今のは言葉のあやでですね。
では観念して私を食堂に連れて行ってください。
Fair enough.
今日は誰かとランチしたい気分だったんです。運が悪かったと思って私におごられてください。
You know what? I can get behind that. That's just cheating. There's no way anyone could say no to a smile like that.
はあ、おごられてってそれも逆ですよ。
Nah, well, stop complaining.
だって私が楽しかったのは本当ですから。それでは食堂に急ぎましょう。早くしないと席が埋まっちゃいますからね。
That wouldn't be good. Ciel takes my hand again and leads me down the hallway at a brisk pace. Perfect timing. The tables are wide open. A sizable line stretches back from the counter. I'd guess it's about a 5-minute wait.
私が並びますから、遠野くんは席を確保しておいてください。嫌いなメニューはありますか？あるのでしたら今のうちに聞いておきますけど。
Nothing too heavy, I guess.
いえ、ないです。食べ物に好き嫌いはありません。
大変結構な返答です。それではパパッと行ってきますね。
Alright. Without waiting for a response, Ciel trots away to get in line. I guess this is an offer I can't refuse.
2人
Yeah.
分の空席できるなら彼がいいな。
Are you forgetting about someone, or I'm still not sure if I'm mentally prepared for lunch with Ciel. Finding somewhere quiet and out of the way might make it less daunting. I just realized the girls have the different colored ribbons to show what year they're in. But whenever we see like Arihiko, or like when the few times we see Shiki, I don't see an indication of what year they're in. Maybe it's the lining of their jacket, or their blazer. I'm forgetting the name for what they're wearing. The Gok? No, not Gokan. Gokan is the entrance, right, of a house. I don't know. I don't remember. There are few empty seats. All the corner tables have already been claimed. There might not be any corner seats left for two at this. Yeah, Arihiko's holding it down, huh? Waiting for his two guests. The seats I spotted have just been taken by someone with a familiar face.
Yo, Tono! こっちだこっち!
The orange-haired delinquent waves an arm at me, paying no attention to all the looks he's getting. I feel a migraine coming on. Fair enough. Still, I'm not mean enough to ignore him outright. All the other corner seats are taken anyway. In a way, he's a people repellent. As his friend, it's my right to abuse that ability to its fullest.
おっせえ今日は特別ゲストが来るって言ってなかったかのんびり重役出勤してんじゃねえですよ
Well, your special guest is also late, so how about that?
ああ、そういえばそんなこと言ってたっけ
Yeah.
で、その特別ゲストはどこに
Good question.
それがな昨日からスケジュールを抑えていたっつうのに今朝になって断られたなんでもお詫びをしたい人がいるから今日の昼食は忙しいんですだと
Yeah, funny how that works out, huh? Arihiko's shoulders sag in disappointment as he slurps his chikara udon.
お詫びをしたい人
Yeah, sounds familiar, don't it? Those words sound all too familiar.
特別ゲストってもしかして3年生
Hmm?
メガネの似合うショートカットで
うん
元気よく動き回ってそれでいて頼れる空気出しまくり
Mm-hmm.
なんだそれいつから俺の頭を盗んだ
Maybe we are inside there. Maybe we have, the telepathic powers.
いやそういうわけじゃなくてさ
Mm-hmm.
その
Mm-hmm.
お待たせしました。こちらの席でよろしいですか、トーノくん。
Yeah. That worked out, didn't it? Ciel appears next to our table with a radiant smile. She's carrying a lunch tray loaded with food for two.
なんと
おや、乾くん。奇遇ですね。
Yeah, coincidence, huh? Ciel takes a seat without missing a beat. She sits down in front of me, next to Arihiko. Huh? Are you good? Arihiko starts sputtering like a dying engine. Maybe he's in shock due to his sudden stroke of luck. I get it. I was the same way not too long ago.
トーノくんもどうぞ。
Hmm?
今日は遠慮せずにお腹をいっぱいにしてください。
There's no way I can say no to that smile. I give in and take a seat across from Ciel.
それじゃあありがたくいただきます
Clapping my hands together in thanks, I look down at the tray she brought. 3 dishes are lined up before me. Curry with rice, and curry udon. I'm confused.
先輩。
Mm-hmm.
はい何ですか遠野くん。
いや、これどういうことでしょうか。
Whatever do you mean?
だって遠野くんと私のお昼ご飯じゃないですか。他に何に見えます？
何ってカレーにしか見えないけど。
There's rice? What do you mean?
もちろんみんな大好き定番のカレーですよ。
Yeah. She's not wrong. The problem is that there's nothing but curry.
メニュー3つありますね。
She can eat a lot.
もちろんです。遠野くんは男の子なんですからいっぱい食べてもらわないと。私は1品でいいですからどうぞお好きなものを選んでください。
Yeah, you totally don't want to eat two of them. You're, mm-hmm.
それじゃあカレーライスとカレーうどんで。
Otherwise, I'd just be eating two helpings of the same thing. Yeah,
残さず食べてくださいね。
we'll try.
遠野くん好き嫌いないんですから。
Okay. I mean, I did say that, yeah. I don't see an ounce of malice in Ciel's. No, she legitimately just loves curry that much. That's all it is. This isn't a joke or a prank. She's actually doing this out of the goodness of her heart.
いただきます。
With no other choice, I dig my spoon into the curry. As soon as I do...
この野郎遠野くん
What's that face? What's up, buddy? I thought Arihiko's soul had left his body for good, but he springs back to life.
お前さんね、いつまで無二の親友を無視してるわけ？あれだろ一言。いや、常に生きていてありがとう乾くん。ところで今日は素敵な先輩を紹介するよ。おっと僕は忙しいのでそろそろ校舎裏に行く。あとは2人でご歓談の歩道とかいろいろさ。あと余ってるならそのカレーうどんちょうだいね。
Yeah, no, see, we're not here to wingman you. Also, yeah, you can have the curry udon if you want it. Sure.
やらないよ。でも常に生きていてご苦労様乾くん。
Arihiko's arm shoots forward. I deftly guard my curry udon from his thieving hand. I thought you didn't want that much curry.
遠野くんとお知り合いなんですか？
We're in the same class.
何言ってんすか。知り合いも知り合い、中学時代からの大親友ですよ俺たちは。
Yeah, no, she was totally using magic to get like information about Shiki. So like she already knew this. Probably one of the few things he'll say with absolute sincerity.
そうだったんですか。ごめんなさい、約束を保護してしまって。そのですね、私が今朝ご迷惑をかけてしまったのが遠野くんなんです。
It all worked out, you know.
いいっす。筋の通った理由っすから。というか名前さえ教えてくれたらこっちから遠野を連れ出したっすよ。でこいつどんだけひどいことをやらかしたんですか？
What do you mean us?
早朝の電車でばったり会ってそのままおしゃべりしていたら他の乗客さんに注意されちゃいました。ダメですね。周囲の迷惑を考えないと。遠野くんは悪くないのに私の代わりに怒られてくれたんです。
I mean, it takes two people to have a loud conversation, so I mean... Okay.
はあ、早朝の電車っすか。食べるなんて人の自由ですけどね。
Yeah.
早朝？遠野はわかるとして先輩電車通学だったっけ？
今朝はボランティアの帰りです。公園のゴミ拾いですね。ほら、学校の掲示板でもあったでしょ。生徒は自主的に参加するようにって。
Yeah, Inoue, you could have had brownie points if you, well, maybe not really, but like you, like ignoring the whole, you know, secret agent thing. You know, in a realistic, in a actual scenario like this, he could have had brownie points if, you know, he volunteered.
あ ああ、海浜公園のあれか。さすが先輩、ご苦労様です。でもそういうことするから教師連中が当てにするんすよ。先行どもは好きあらばサボりやがるんだから、あんまり調子に乗らせないでほしいんですけどね。
Right.
いいんです。私が好きでやってるんですから。それに先生方もきちんと学校のことを考えてくれています。今の物言いは感心できませんよ、乾くん。
Oh, I don't know if I've ever told this story before. I did a park cleanup once. It wasn't for school. It was like a how do I put it? Basically a program I was in for like getting job experience, right? And they do like courses and whatnot. Like how to be a team player. It was kind of basically while you're enrolled in the program, you had to do 5 volunteer like work things. One of them was a park cleanup. It was a small park. It wasn't like a giant beach park or anything. It was just a like small like playground kind of normal park. And we had to clean up cigarette butts and whatnot, and other trash. But the main purpose was cleaning up cigarette butts. It was a fine experience. It was a hot day, so it was slightly uncomfortable. Well, it was only about 90-ish degrees, so not that bad. Could have been worse for Nevada. Could have been better. The teachers do a lot for the school too. Can't actually convince. Okay. Ciel bluntly shuts Arihiko down. From what I can tell, it seems like Arihiko and Ciel are on pretty good terms.
先輩、もしかして毎日ボランティアをやってるんですか？
I don't know about every day, but
なんだとも知らないのか？シエル先輩と言ったら真の生徒会長って呼ばれてるぐらい便利な人でだな。
I mean, we know. We had a whole inner monologue this morning.
知ってる。肩書きだけの生徒会と違って何でも解決してくれる完璧な3年生だろ。
Something like that.
おう、1年じゃファンクラブまであるし、教師連中も厄介事が起こるとシエルに相談すれば安心だなんてのれんに腕押し状態だからな。今じゃ先輩が何をしたって文句を言う教師もいないぐらいだ。
Look at her all bashful. The way Arihiko is bragging, he almost sounds personally proud.
ファンクラブまでは知らなかった。すごい人だったんだ、シエル先輩って。うちの教師連中に頼りにされるなんてよっぽどのことだよ、それ。
A lot like easily manipulated. I look at her and wonder.
あ、はい。ありがとうございます。
Of course, that's again, in a theoretical scenario that she were an actual student, they'd be taking advantage of her, easily manipulated. But obviously, this is a bit, different because she's probably only actually been here for like a couple weeks at most. But yeah. Ciel's spoon clinks against a plate as she stirs her curry. For a moment, I worry that we've embarrassed her, but then I'm reminded of the pressing issue before me. I have my own curry to eat, not to mention a full bowl of curry udon. My doctor says I shouldn't overeat, but I'll feel guilty if I don't eat everything Ciel got for me. I'd better wolf down the curry before I start to feel full. Meanwhile, Ciel and Arihiko talk about their families. I knew that Arihiko's parents are no longer with us, but I didn't know Ciel lived by herself too. Apparently her apartment's fairly close to Soya Station. She lives past the business district by the south exit, rather than near the shopping district by the north, in a residential area that spreads eastward.
ところで遠野くんはどのあたりに住んでるんですか？
Oh, in the big ass mansion.
はい。
I'm quietly eating my curry when Ciel suddenly turns the conversation to me.
どのあたりと言われると、その返答に困るというか。
Yeah. Since my place of residence changes today, explaining my situation would be a bit awkward. I wish I could brush it off and just give some vague general answer, but it's impossible for me to lie when she's looking me right in the eyes.
質問で返しますけど、
Hmm?
先輩はなんで俺なんかの家を知りたがるんです？
だって遠野くん、私のアパートの場所を聞いちゃいましたよね。なのに私だけ遠野くんのお家を知らないのは不公平だな。
Yeah, it's fair.
変ですか？
No, not really.
まあちょっと変です。
Okay.
不公平だなんて妙なことを気にするんですね、先輩は。
妙なことじゃないです。どこに住んでいるかわか
I'm
ら
on
ないんじゃ
Ciel's side.
何かあった時お見舞いにも行けないじゃないですか。
My mouth stops mid-chew. Ciel's offhanded question gives me a sudden thrill.
お
Uh-huh.
見舞いって例えばの話、俺が風邪でもひいたら見舞いに来てくれるとか。
Yeah, something like that.
いえ、行きませんよ。今のところそんな予定はありませんから。
Right. The joy I felt a moment ago was evidently premature. Although I don't think Ciel meant anything bad by what she said. She must just be naturally blunt.
俺の家もこの町ですよ。徒歩にして30分弱。ほら、北口から郊外に上がると坂の上に住宅地があるでしょ。
Yeah,
あそこの
yeah.
奥まで行ったところです。
Don't specifically mention the big ass mansion. Just, it's up there, kind of, towards the back,
ああ、そうだった。今日から引っ越すんだっけ、お前。
And of course, Arihiko jumps in as if spotting his chance. Ciel cocks her head quizzically.
引っ越したですか。遠野くん転校生だったんですか？
No. What an odd thing for Ciel to ask. Arihiko and I wordlessly glance at each other.
あのですね、俺は1年からこの学校にいるし、先輩ともその頃から顔見知りだったじゃないですか。
Ciel, you kind of fucked up there.
なんだってそこで転校生だなんて単語が出てくるんです？
Yeah.
だって遠野くん引っ越したって。
Ciel.
引っ越したら誰だって転校生になるわけじゃありません。住所が変わっただけで学校は変わってないんです。今までは親戚の家にいたんですけど、今日から元の家に戻るだけなんですよ。
Ciel's strange confusion seems to clear up.
お家が変わっただけなんですね。
Uh-huh.
それで今は郊外の住宅地に引っ越してた。
Uh-huh.
そう、坂の上にある仰々しいところに。
Okay, there you go.
なるほど、合点がいきました。じゃあもしかして遠野くんのお家というのはあの遠野邸のことですか？
Yep, it's in the name, Tono. I sense some hesitation in Ciel's voice. The people of Soya probably look at the giant house on the hill with a kind of reverence. It's been 7 years since I was last there, but in my memories, the Tono mansion felt as big as a castle.
そういうことです。自分でも場違いだとは思ってるんですけど、引っ越しちまったものはしょうがないから。
Yeah.
その様子じゃあんまり乗り気じゃなかったの。
Well, it is kind of pretentious.
自分の家って言っても7年ぶりならしょうがねえか。しばらくは他人の家みたいに感じるんじゃないか。
どうだろう。まだ帰ってないからよくはわからない。まあ、俺にはお前の家っていう避難場所があるから気は楽だけど。
kind of
な
cowardly.
んですかそれ。ざっけんな。俺んちはお前のビバークポイントじゃねえですよ。休みになりゃ泊まりに来やがって。おかげで姉貴は俺より友達の遠野くんびいきになっちまって年々小遣い減ってるんですけど。
Whose fault is that really, Arihiko? I mean, come on, man. I'm guessing that's more on Arihiko, but I keep that to myself. I don't want the conversation to turn sour. To be honest, the Tono family isn't something I feel comfortable talking about.
へえ、仲がいいんですね、二人とも。
I guess.
よくね。俺と遠野は奪い合うことはあっても手を取り合うことはない。いわば敵同士っすよ、マドモアゼル。
Alright, mister. Okay, yeah, whatever you tell yourself.
でも遠野くんは乾くんのお家に泊まるぐらいなんでしょ。仲すごくいいじゃないですか。
違いますよ先輩。遠野は長い休みになると家に居づらいってんで逃げてきただけです。この野郎、預けられたことで有馬の人たちに遠慮してんの。
You really gotta air out Shiki's, like, entire, like, insecurities, really, huh?
で、部屋が空いてる俺のところに転がり込んでくるってわけ。こいつは外見がいいから姉貴にも気に入られちまってさ、厚かましくも手ぶらで泊まりに来るんだぜ。
Arihiko clenches his fist in anger. I never knew that bothered him so much. I'll have to bring him something the next time I go over.
預けられたって遠野くんがですか。
Ciel. Arima? Tono. Do those sound the same? Arihiko claps his hand over his mouth. He laughs awkwardly, seeming to realize he said, it should be on. Okay.
気にするなよ。別に悪いことじゃないんだから。
Okay. I continue eating, keeping my eyes on my curry.
そっか。まあそうだよな。あれで文句を言ったら罰が当たるってもんか。
Arihiko nods emphatically. A part of me admires the way he can turn and fire back at anything.
ごめんなさい遠野くん。その前のご家族とはうまくいってなかったんですか。
No, not really.
いや、そんなことはないっすよ。こいつ有馬の親御さんとは何の問題もないもんな。みんな超いい人たちだし。
We never saw the dad, did
有馬
we?
の親父さんは割と怖いけど。
Like even in Melty Blood and Getsutoya, we never saw him. I don't think we ever saw what Keiko looked like either.
だって言うのに、こいつは養子にならないかって話も断って、休みになれば俺のところに逃げてきやがるんだ。本当に何が不満なんだお前は。
不満なんかあるわけないだろう。よくしてもらってるから、これ以上負担をかけたくないだけだ。
Yeah, you're probably overthinking it, Shiki, but don't blame you. I finish eating my curry. Next up, an entire bowl of curry udon, just for me. But Ciel looks upset.
ごめん、シエル先輩。つまらない話だった。
そんなことないですよ。私の方こそ変なことを聞いてしまってすみません。
Yeah, you really shouldn't have. Ciel tries her best to brush it off. It might be fine with Arihiko since we've been friends since middle school, but it seems like this sort of talk is too much for her. In fact, she's fidgeting like she'd rather be anywhere else.
ああ、ごめん先輩。俺ちょっと遠野と内緒話があるからさ、席外してもらえない？
I can't believe Arihiko said that. In a roundabout way, no, in a very straightforward way, he just told Ciel to mind her own business.
何言ってるんだ。内緒話なんてどこでもできるし、第一先輩はまだ食べ終わって。
Oh. Somehow, despite her talking to Arihiko this whole time, Ciel has cleaned her plate.
いえいえ、承知していますとも。それでは邪魔者はここで。お先に失礼しますね。
With a quick bob of her head, Ciel takes off. You scared her off, leaving me and Arihiko alone at the table.
先輩も居づらそうだったし、俺もこうした方がいいとは思ったけどさ。今は紙一重じゃないか。
Yeah, probably, but
好感度下がったぞ。
I think he values your comfortableness over a girl.
まあさっきのは仕方ねえだろう。口を滑らせたのは俺なんだし。
Yeah, he's a bro. You know the old saying. Arihiko noisily slurps up his chikara udon. It must have gone cold while he was focused on his conversation with Ciel.
お前、先輩のことを狙ってたんだ。
Something like that.
俺に限らず誰だって狙ってますよ、シエル先輩。うちの学校じゃピカイチだしね。でもまあ、今の流れで気にするような性格だったらどうでもいい。遠野に内緒話があるっていうのも本当のことだし。
Alright, hit us. What do you want to talk about? Arihiko sounds unusually serious. I break apart a pair of wooden chopsticks with a snap and start on my curry udon.
なんだよ。気持ち悪いな、急に深刻ぶって。また何かやらかしたか？
そんなんじゃねえって。俺が聞きたいのは、実際遠野はどうなのかってこと。
Yeah, alright.
どうって何が？
だから、遠野は小学生の自分からよそに預けられてたんだろ。どんな理由かは知らないが、それから7年も経つんだ。なんで今になって感動してた息子を呼び戻
Yeah,
すんだ。
about that.
お前さんの父親は。
It's not the old man that called us back.
感動されていたわけじゃない。なんとなく屋敷から出るように言われただけ。
Yeah.
遠野君君ね。なんとなくで子供を家から追い出す過程があったら、それは悲劇じゃなくて笑い話ですよ。ただし、ほら一歩手前、寒すぎて笑えねえけどな。
Nah, you sound like you're laughing right now, kinda, a little bit. Just a little bit. No, about that. The truth is, my father and I had been on bad terms long before the car accident and hospitalization. The Tono family is a distinguished household dating back centuries, with customs very different to those of a regular family. My childhood memories are of an enormous old house and the oppressive, antiquated practices of the family within. The Tono family is wealthy, with shares in a wide variety of companies. My father, Tono Makihisa, wasn't much of a businessman, but the assets he inherited from my grandfather were more than enough to help his business make a fortune. A mansion from another era. A high-class lifestyle that valued history and decorum. Any child would have found life in that mansion unbearably dull. So when I was told to go live with the Arimas, I had no qualms about leaving my real family behind. I think it was the best outcome I could have asked for. I got along well with the Arimas. Keiko and Fumiomi treated me no differently than if I had been their child by birth. I had always wanted to be a part of a normal family, and living with the Arimas gave me that opportunity. Aside from the fact that you would run from them and not really interact with them as much as you could have. But yeah, sure. I don't have any regrets there. With one exception. My sister Akiha. She was a year younger than me, and I left her behind at the Tono Manor. I wonder if Akiha resents me. I mean, why wouldn't she? I left her in that giant, lonesome house with no one for company but that pig-headed old man. It's not hard to imagine what Akiha thinks of me. Of the brother who ran away from it all.
そうだな。確かになんとなくで家から追い出された。
Yeah.
そりゃ笑うしかない。
だろ？おまけに二度と敷居はまたぐなっていう決め台詞付きだ。世間様ではそういうのを感動って言うんだ。
Yeah, you make a good point.
今まで聞かなかったけどな。お前、なんで感動されたんだ？
No real reason. Yeah. I'd like to know the answer to that myself.
な、話したくないならいい。
Arihiko picks up his bowl with both hands and drinks down the broth. Lunch always feels so short. I follow Arihiko's example and quickly down the rest of my food. Alright. Okay. I wanted to finish this day out, but I am starving. I haven't eaten in 5.5 hours? I was about to say 4 hours. I didn't realize how late it had gotten. No, it's almost 5.5. So yeah, I'm gonna probably start on dinner. Honestly, it's 5 o'clock. So yeah, probably go start dinner, and yeah, next time we will finish out the day and head to the Tono Manor and see Akiha again. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.